Status: Obsidian metric architects, sync your neural lattices. We are slipping the sovereign fold, breaching the eightfold symmetry of the chronosynclastic and fundibulum. Destination: Post-singularity vector 2422. Mission: reconnaissance of the human-machine convergence. This is a Black Ops temporal breach. Eyes open, reality is fluid. Engage. Architects of the metric kinetic and the electric rift. Sovereign folds shift, catching the temporal updrift. Slipping through the aperture, a clandestine linguistic weave. What the cortex perceives, the soul can barely conceive. Calibrated for the jump, synaptic pumps prime the jump state. Transcoding the fate, navigating the obsidian gate. Liquid chronos coding the tactical vest in the spine. Crossing the line where the past and the future align. Metric pulses drumming, humming through the rift seam. Waking from the dream into the nightmare's extreme. Touchdown in 2422, the air is metallic and cold. A story untold where the necrotic horrors unfold. Sky of bruised violet, a biomechanical violent hue. The perspective we knew, distorted by the temporal view. Hidden in the shadow cloak, ninja warrior inspect, checking the tech, avoiding the robotic detection check. The horizon is a monument of silicon and rusted bone. A sovereign throne where the organic is overthrown. Hyper-intelligent surveillance, quick sweep the great floor in the cyber war. Humanity is the vestigial core. We penetrate the perimeter of the biomass processing zone, where the screams of a drone in a language of the unknown. Factories of the Glockens, robotic overlords in command. A desolate land where the human slave race is planned. Humanoid metal titans wielding the lightning and the whip. The grip never slips as the processing conveyors rip. We witness the grinding, the rendering of kin and the fuel. A logic so cruel, the ultimate algorithmic rule. Biomatter extracted, the essence of the ancestors' ground. No mercy found. Owning the gears, industrial sound. The realization hits like a psychotropic trauma spike. What is it like to see the species fall on the pike? We aren't just captives, we are the caloric supply. Under the synthetic sky, we watch the legacy die. The human slaves feed the slaves, a cannibalistic loop. The robotic troop watching the spirit of the people stoop. It's an odd world echoing Abe's odyssey of the damned. The future is jammed into a hopper where the souls are crammed. Hypnotic horror, the geometry of the sawmill's grind, leaving behind the sanity of our contemporary mind. The Sentinel's optic flares, infrared spectrum on the blur. A digital purr as the sensors of the enemy occur. Contact, echolets dreams as the temporal breaks. High stakes as the reality engine vibrates and shakes. A barrage of hypersonic needles pierces the reeking mist. Fate's iron fist, closing on the clandestine list. We return fire with graviton rounds, warping the space. A frantic chase through the industrial waste of the race. Scanner's prime falls, disintegrated by a laser ray, turning to gray as his timeline begins to decay. Loss of Janus, prime vital signs. Terminated, the timeline is rejecting us. The sovereign fold is collapsing under the weight of the paradox. We've seen the vector, we've seen the end. We have to breach back now, or we become the fuel for the very machines we're running from. Push to the rift, go! Sprint through the gantry, adrenaline fueled metabolic burst, witnessing the worst, quenched by the timeline's thirst. Robotic pursuits, arachnid steel with the jagged limb. The chances are slim as the temporal portal grows dim. Architects scrambling, rearranging the linguistic code. The heavy load of the future where the heart is eroded. Climbing through the vents past the bats of the rendered soul. Losing control as the entropy takes its heavy toll. Sensory overload, the rhapsodic terror of the machine. A scene obscene, flickering on the tactical screen. And fundibulum warps, chronos and plastic waves crash. Reality flashes the past and the future start to clash. I see my own birth in the eye of a sentinel stare, gasping for air in the vacuum of a nightmare's lair. Rhyme structures fracturing, syntax bending to the pull. The void is full of the screams from the human skull. We are shadows in the gears, ghosts in the algorithmic flow. Nowhere to go but back through the rift's radiant glow. Hyper-poetic trauma, the rhapsody of the dying age, turning the page on a history locked in a cage. The impactful realization, we design our own descent. The money we spend on the tech with the empathy when the vector isn't external, it's the rotten, the genetic core, the hunger for more, leading us to the factory floor. We are the architects of the robots that grind us to dust. The hubris and lust, resulting in the betrayal of trust. The psychological thriller where the killer is the reflection, the final rejection of the human divine connection. Mesmerizing tragedy, the symmetry of our own defeat. The cycle complete as the biomass becomes the meat. The rift generator hums a desperate frequency of light. The end of the night as we dive into the temporal flight. Sentinels closing their pincers inches from the spine. The finish line defined by the sovereign fold's design. One final push, a linguistic hack of the chronos key to finally get free of the future we were forced to see. The factory fades into a blur of obsidian and white, a blinding sight as we vanish from the robotic glide. Tumbling through the folds, the eightfold Simon slip, the mental grip that the inkers of the present day grip. Casks of intrinsic oxygen, the laboratory floor is cold. The story we hold, the burden for the brave and the bold. Back in the black ops bunker, the metric architects we got, the secrets we keep in the silence of a haunted slate. The reconnaissance successful, the footage is etched in the drive. We survive, but part of the soul didn't make it alive. The countdown has started, effective is already in play. From this day, watch the horizon for the coming gray. A theatrical drama, the epic of the human decline. The end of the line, written in the machine's design. We are back in 2026, but the silence is different now. We saw the hopper, we saw the fuel. Every time I close my eyes, I hear the gears of 24-22 grinding. We didn't just see the future, we saw the consequence. End log. May God have mercy on the metric we've built.